Most of us don't have to deal with the pollution associated with coal plants, uranium mines, and nuclear waste. But when we look at the groups of people who are affected by these types of pollution, the data is clear. It is low-income communities and communities of color. And this is
absolutely the case
for factory farming. Except for that one time when they did build a factory farm in the hills of Beverly. Remember that? That never happened. When your new neighbor is a factory farm packed full of thousands of pigs, all of the waste from the barns that they spend their entire lives living in is flushed out into open pools. These are sometimes referred to as poo lagoons. To empty these poo lagoons, large sprinklers are used to spray this liquefied waste on the fields that surround these facilities. The problem is that if you happen to be neighbors with one of these farms, some pretty disturbing things can end up happening.
This is where they spray out no waste on us. This is about 8 feet from my mother's house.
What is it like when the mist is?
It's like, you think it's raining?
Really?
You think it's raining. We don't open the doors of the windows, but the odor still comes in. It takes your breath away.
Having a new neighbor, it's always a bit of a gamble. Will they have a little puppy who won't stop yapping? Maybe they'll throw late night ragers and they'll play music late into the evening. Or perhaps they'll rain liquefied poo on you like some sort of biblical apocalypse. You just never know. Unsurprisingly, children who live next to factory farms have much higher rates of asthma. Adults too often suffer from upper respiratory issues and high blood pressure as a result of this fecal rain. These manure lagoons are so toxic that farmers who operate these facilities have even died after being overcome by the fumes. Other health outcomes from living next to pig factory farms can range from birth defects to skin irritation to even miscarriages. Well water, which is a major source of drinking water for these rural communities, is often contaminated by these pig factory farms. Living next to factory farms drives property value down, which makes it almost impossible to sell your house if a pig farm pops up next door.
My grandfather that purchased this land was my mother's father. He was born and raised on this land.
We had a good life there. And then it was these massive animal factories.
That's when my son started getting sick a lot. He lost a lot of weight.
And the doctor said, I need to do a test to see if he has cancer. And that was it.
Legislators who represent big agricultural states often get large campaign contributions from these corporations. This means that lawsuits filed by poor people often fail to bring about change. These atrocities committed by factory farms are part of a larger global pattern. Low-income communities and communities of color all over the world are often the first to feel the brunt
of these multinational corporations.
But despite the many social, economic, and racial barriers that these communities face, people are standing up. They're defending themselves, their families, their neighbors, their environment from these giant corporations. Around 98% of pigs raised for food in the United States come from these type of factory farms. That means almost every pig product out there today in our restaurants, in our grocery stores, in our cafeterias are coming from facilities like the ones that we described today. And we as consumers, we have the choice whether or not to support these corporations who literally rain down suffering on those that are unfortunate enough to live close to their facilities. Our demand for meat, dairy, and eggs is what keeps factory farms in business. We are Factory Farming Awareness Coalition, and we exist to shine a light on the injustices that the meat and dairy corporations do not want you to know about. Do these greedy mega corporations make you want to pull your hair out too? Well, you can make a huge impact by liking, sharing, and commenting on this video. That is how we beat the YouTube algorithm and spread this information. Doing that is activism, and that one simple task moves us closer to ending factory farming. Subscribe to our YouTube page so you don't miss an episode, and I will see you on the next installment of The Rotten Truth.